Good morning, everyone. This is at an hour of Qigong. Today we are focusing in on spring or wood phase energy, often associated with liver and gallbladder and your ability to move, find your spring and youthful energy, and helping with twisting, turning, and checking out your choices. We shall proceed with all exercise. Make sure you're comfortable. Anything you're doing that's uncomfortable or slightly painful, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Okay, we're going to start with some lovely warm-ups. So we're just going to start a little bit tight today to get that feeling of expansion. Pardon me. Okay, when we're ready, we're just going to start opening really slowly, visualizing we are growing like a shoot. Beautiful new plant. Coming up, big as you like, and opening up. Expanding the body. Feeling bigger than you were in the beginning. Beautiful. Let's start with some front pumps. So just in standing posture, relaxing the arms, moving them backwards and forwards. Movements just coming off those shoulder joints. Got my knees soft, my feet are parallel. Trying to keep my backbone nice and straight, and that includes my neck. Really relax the muscles in the arms, letting the weight of the arms pick up the momentum. Just breathing in and out, waking up the body, encouraging chest movements, opening ribs up. Expanding the muscles in between the ribs. Most of all, trying to relax. Pop these into a few front pumps by bending the knees a lot more, as if you're sitting down behind you. Sitting down and pushing behind. If you at all get dizzy, you don't need to look down. You can keep your eyes looking in front of you. That helps. If you don't get dizzy, you can look down and extend the neck to match the backbone. Bit of pushing air or energy behind you, making sure you don't hit anything as you're going. When you're ready, back to normal swings, front swings. Keeping those knees soft, trying not to lock any joints. Slowing down naturally. Pausing and standing still. We'll do some side swings, trying to think about the waist moving with the hips staying as forward as we can. We keep our feet in standing posture to begin with. We can really feel that movement, trying to turn at the waist. Building core energy strength. Also activating the girdle vessel, energy around the waist. And giving a little bit of a twist to the backbone. Once you start getting some momentum, you might feel your knees feel a little bit tight. So if you just gently open the feet into a small horse stance, that's when your toes slightly more pointing outwards. You can get a little bit more movement. And of course, remember, Don't hit anything behind you. Turning the head with the neck. And as you warm up, you might find your neck can travel a little bit further round, so you can see behind you. Arms are feeling quite heavy, clunking on the body. Bit of a massage at the same time. Waking up loads of acupressure points. Also encouraging the breath to come lower down into the lower dantian area. It's nearer the belly or below the belly button. Brilliant. We're going to bring that to a standstill when we can. We're going to get that double direction going by opening our arms, and then we softly bring them down, and one arm comes across the body and lifts up the other side. Then we're back to the open, both hands up, and we're off to the other side. It's kind of like a side swing split. And you can take your time to do this if that feels good, or you can use the weight and momentum of the arms to get a little bit of speed going. See how that feels for you. Side swing splits. Getting that idea of double direction, decision making, seeing choices. Let's put a bit of a hule, so you come into the middle. Celebrate that your arms can go up in the air. Breathing in, and breathing out. Knees are definitely moving and opening. Take the bounce. Lovely twist. You can probably feel the twist is going a little bit higher on the spine now, between the shoulder blades. When you're ready, we're going to slow that down. Lose the momentum. Coming to a standstill. Dropping those feet back into standing posture. We're going to do windmills. So popping the hands into a prayer position in the center of the chest. We'll just take one arm to begin with. We're going to move up and round, creating a circle at the side. Bring that energy back up through the body, back to that prayer position. It can touch if that feels good. And then we're just continuing with that circle. Got a one-handed windmill at the moment. We're then going to bring that to a pause, and the other hand is going to join in, but it's going to drop down. So this circle, this side of the windmill, is moving in a different direction. And of course, when you're ready, we're going to bring both into action. One's traveling clockwise, and one's traveling anti-clockwise. And we meet in the middle. Always feel like this, as if you're making a bit of pizza dough, trying to spread the pizza dough into a larger item. Big opening, slightly confusing the brain. Try and go with the flow. You bring this to a standstill on your next one into the prayer position, and of course we're going to go the opposite direction. If you ever get lost with this, you just pause and take one arm by itself. And when you're ready, you put them back in. I think I've changed direction, haven't I? It's best to leave your brain out of the situation and just let the arms do their thing. Let's change direction again. Get a little bit of a impact slap you go through the middle, quite satisfying. Waking up the palms of the hands. One more of these. Back to that center line, hands in prayer position, and just pausing. Checking out your lovely posture, feet below the hips, parallel feet. Are you on a little train track? Have you tucked your bottom down, tailbone facing down? And just check in with your neck. You open that up this morning. Let's do some cactus opening arms. So big cactus hands. You can even open the hands to the sides if you want, or place them like little plates. And we're just thinking about the chest, and we are closing up. Closing up, creating a little bit of a concave back. And then we're opening again. You have your hands so they can actually come and form a complete flat surface. Hands together, whole of the forearms to the elbows. A little bit of opening and closing. Contracting and expanding. Breathing in and breathing out where it feels appropriate. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's just do one more of these. Really feeling the opening on the front. Breathing in and breathing out. Getting our little wood effect going with our first plant of the day. Relaxing that down. A little bit of shimmering and shaking. We're going to get into that feeling of spring as well by some very gentle marching to begin with. Picking up the knees one side to the other and allowing the arms to join in. Creating that flow, that marching, that march hare feeling. And yes, I know we're in winter at the moment, but we're always looking forward to spring. Also, it's that feeling of the start of the year as well. Feeling like we need sometimes to get our body slightly jollied along. That's because we're not bears and we can't actually hibernate. So we're marching, just checking out whether you can lift your knees any higher, not creating any pain in the hips, but just bringing them up if you can. To the horizontal, thighs to the horizontal if you can. Beautiful. Relaxing the arms a little, go back to smaller steps. And then we're going to say hello to each thigh with the opposite hand with a little bit of a tap. So we're getting this double-sided effect going again, stimulating the brain, have multiple side functioning. Any kind of double-sided activity is very good for clearing the mind. It's like you're resetting the body. Okay, with our hands, we're now going to try and create a bit of a infinity sign, lots of double eights in the sky. Opposite hand to opposite thigh, creating some space around you, that you're gathering in the chi from everywhere around you. Really opening up the pelvic area. Always essential for your movement. Breathing in, breathing out, swirling the arms. 88 in the sky. Infinity signs. Beautiful. Slowing that down, coming down, retracting your steps. Back to just standing, walking, and pausing. Breathing. Let's open the sides up a little bit more. We're going to do that classic handbags. So arm creates that circle at the side, comes above your head, and the hand becomes limp, and the wrist is the bit that's pulled up. As it's pulling up, we're opening the side. Checking out the floor and your hand the other side. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. Trying to release any of the muscles and the flesh from the bones. Go to the other side. Lift it up. Somebody's sitting on a cloud above you. Elbows soft. Check in. Have you kept your knees soft as well? Are you locking in tension anywhere? See if you can let go of your neck a little bit and look down. Both sides one more time. Lifting up and opening. Looking down. Wiggling, waggling. Equaling ourselves up on the other side. Lifting up, opening those ribs. Trying to avoid the word stretching. Just opening, breathing and opening. Beautiful. Coming down, relaxing. Okay. Let's relate to the earth, this wood energy. Obviously, every tree is pretty useless without some juicy earth to hold it up. So, hands placed on the earth. Just for a minute, feeling it through the palm. We're just going to do a little bit of soft rotating as if you're stirring the porridge. Connecting through to the earth. Very soft hula hoops with the hips, using the movement mainly of the ankles to turn you around. Let's turn the other direction, connecting through deep into the earth. Okay, from here we're going to try and do the same, but the figure of 8 in your hands. So moving with the hands and taking the hips with it. So the hands are still on the horizontal, connecting through to the earth. But we are drawing figures of 8, as if your number 8 is just lay down. Gently moving the hips, using the knee joints and the ankles. And it's a little bit of that tipping, a little bit of weight going from one leg to the other. Beautiful. Back into the middle. Just finish with some perfect circles if you can. Lots of air underneath your armpits. Elbows in action. When you're ready, just pausing. Feeling the tingling under your hands. Connecting straight through, down into the earth. Popping our feet together, we're just going to connect through to the liver energy. We're standing with feet together, soften those knees down. And we take a foot step quite big to the sides. Bending from the quad, we bend down and our hands come onto the inner legs, just below the knees if you can. And you are drawing physically up on your body, through the groin area, up into the belly, as if you're connecting right through to the liver itself. And then we drop all the way down. This is where your liver meridian is. Lifting those hands up and popping the foot back to the standing. I've come to the other standstill. Let's do this a couple of times. Stepping out. We're bending down and we're physically saying hello right inside that inner leg, drawing up and down the energetic meridian line of the liver. Stepping out. But you're warming up energy, drawing it up, following it down, dropping yourself back down. Let's do this just one more time. Stepping out, physically connecting in, bringing up, and allowing the energy to flow freely down. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to do some little teacups. So horse stance is quite good for this because it allows you to do a little bit more movement. And we're going to start with a little teacup in one hand, so hand nice and flat. The other hand is going to pop just behind you to take that energy back into the Ming Men area or kidney area on your lower back. So if we can bend down quite a bit, that really helps too. This is just a one-handed teacup. Holding that teacup by the side, by your waistline. And we're drawing the teacup back. We're trying not to spill it. So we have to turn the hand, taking the weight from one leg to the other. It's almost like you're lassoing something all the way, and bring that all the way back to the shoulder, the opposite side, and then we can take it all the way round and we pop it back into the side where it began. Swapping hands, allowing the other one out. Here we go. And back, turning round, completely 360 degrees above your head. Say hello to that shoulders if you're taking a cup of tea to a little client who's arrived in your cafe. I'm going to pop it back in to the side. Let's do both sides one more time. Holding your teacup, coming round, all the way behind you. There's a lot of bending of the body. Using the hips and the knees as much as you want. We need quite a lot of room for this, don't we? We come all the way back. Pop it back into your little T area. Last hand, here we go. Bringing it backwards, leaning into it. Round, lassoing the world. Bringing that energy, cup of tea still lovely and full. And bring that all the way back. Beautiful. And from one teacup, of course, we do two teacups. So really sink down. Here we go. 2 teacups. Make sure you filled it up with some decent tea. Taking the energy back past the waist. You need to do a little bit of leaning forward to bring both those teacups at the same time. Shifting the energy across over by your head. You're leaning back. Still got them in place. And they're ready to come back past your waist again. And we can do a continuing movement. So you are in fact drawing figures of 8, again, on each arm. Use our pelvis as much as you like to lean forwards and backwards. Just keep visualizing your beautiful piece of china teacup is still full of tea. Do not spill a drop. Now, if you're feeling confident with this, we can start to speed up the process. Often known as the cappuccino. As we get faster, our hands are becoming more like whisks. We're frothing up the milk. At this point, I always feel like I'm a waitress on, I was going to say something silly there, on roller skates, zooming round the cafe, delivering hot cappuccino to everybody at speed. Trying not to damage any part of your body. Let's just do one more of these. Hope you're doing okay. Hope you've got enough room to do it. Bringing it through whenever you're ready. 2 cups of tea or frothy coffee. Still happily sitting there. Beautiful. Let's relax that and let's just check out our wrists for a while. Let's just turn the wrists, calming down after all that movement. Wood energy, very much about the joints. That bendy tree, bendy bits of greenery can move, don't snap off too quickly. Beautiful energy. Beautiful, just a little bit of pushing together of the hands onto the pads of the fingers. Back down to full hands. Another pads of the fingers together. Just creating a little bit of strength in the wrists. A couple more of these. Really bring those elbows up. Use the energy right from the center of your body, pushing in. Really feel it on the heel of the hand. 2 more. Fingers. Full pads of the hand. Beautiful. Okay, let's meet our rooster, our bossy rooster walking around the farmyard. So hands linking together like a little nest, very strong. Pads of the hands, the heels come together, and we start again a little bit of that figure of 8 feeling. And as you're doing that, you'll probably notice that your shoulders are starting to move. Popping my feet back into standing posture, constantly realigning the body. Really helps with any kind of hip or backbone issue. Doesn't always bend everything, but it's always a good way to start. Elbows are rising high. You are a big rooster. I'm going to start bringing the hips into play now. Got a bit of a swagger going on. And we're going to lean forward slightly. We've got a forward movement. Our big roosters, very cocky, very sure of themselves, lifting their wings up and moving forward. We're shifting the scapulas, your shoulder blades on the back of your body. With your head, you can either look down to extend the neck, or you can lift your head up if you want to. Don't strain the front of the throat though. Feeling that figure of 8, shifting the energy from one side of the body to the other. Visualize your rooster self. Very strong, quite big and puffy, lots of juicy feathers. Big tail as well, holding more feathers. Very proud, very loud, very bossy, very confident. Moving around, shifting the energy in the pelvis as well, from one side to the other. A couple more of these. Let your rooster wander around their farmyard. And then when you're ready, let your rooster slow down. Back to just moving the hands, remembering that figure of 8, flowing in front of you. Beautiful. Slowing that down, releasing any energy, supporting those hands in that tight position, lifting up the odd leg and the other odd leg if you've got 2, shimmer and shake. Okay, we're going to go back into the 8 silk brocades to do a couple of movements, and this is very much for the liver and the eyesight and eyes, but also your vision ability, imagining your future, working out your future path. So feet into horse stance if you can. Only get the horse as big as you want to. Horses come in lots of different sizes. But this one is very nice if you can sink down, just depending on how your knees are this morning. So this is bow, pulling the bow to shoot the golden buzzard or golden eagle. And we're going to bring the energy from the lower dantian up towards the chest. And this is very nice if you turn the hands inside out. We're bringing the energy up, we're going to sink down and we're going to look just to one direction. At this point, you're pulling your bow right past that eye. The other hand is going to extend out in an eye finder L shape and you are looking into the future, looking into the distance, opening your bow, soften down, bring some more energy up. Coming down and ready, and we're focusing the other direction. Expanding the chest, pulling the arrow, the bow, and let go of it, sinking down, bring some more energy up. A couple of times both sides. So really look through that eye finder, checking out the distance, and it's that beautiful opening of the chest, double direction with your arms. Really pull back that past the eye, clearing muddled, fuzzy eyes. Let's do both sides one more time. Energy up, sinking down, focusing and opening, ready to shoot. Always think of us up in the Himalayas, maybe in Mongolia. Not much farming up there in the mountains. You do need to shoot the odd animal for dinner. Bit of survival going on. Brilliant. Feet back into a more normal posture. We're going to carry on with that silk gaze and we're going to do punching with an angry gaze. And this is that liver energy which hates being suppressed. Suppressed emotions often lead to anger. So standing posture, really firm. Brought my shoulders back and the hands by that waistline. Soft fists, thumb obviously outside the fist, not completely looking at you. Off we go. We are punching out very smooth. This is from the silk brigade, so everything is very smooth. Comes back into position and the other one is then released. Trying to keep my back beautifully straight so that I'm not dragging my shoulder too far forward. Keeping the box shape of my body. In standing posture. My knees are soft, my feet are aligned. And I'm going to try and create an angry gaze with my eyes. So I'm looking as if I'm looking at an opponent and I'm punching them. Being very steady and strong, earth, feeling the feet connecting right through to the earth as if you get punched. You're going to bounce back. No one's going to move you. No one's going to actually knock you over. You are coping with any anger. You can visualize what that anger or who that anger is towards. And do a little bit of visualization, if that helps. If you do it long enough, you'll just get into the lovely flow of the movement. Extending the arm, turning and twisting. We'll just do a few where the hand comes out, punching out, and then allow the fingers to swirl around as if you're grasping some energy and bringing it back. Next one comes out, we're opening out like a flower, grasping and bringing back. This is very good for you if you often are feeling very angry and show it a little bit too much. You must remember, every time you are sending anger out into the world, it is part of your chi. You've got to really ask yourself, have you got enough to spare? So this little grasping back is taking back some chi back for yourself. Brilliant. Let's just do one more of these. Fantastic. Keep it in that lovely standing position. You might need some room behind you, so do make sure you've got enough room. We're going to change this up from the Chinese version into the Vietnamese version, or so I've been told. And we jump round 4 points of a compass with the punching. You can make lots of lovely sounds if you want. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's much faster, but always back into your neat position. And then we turn and off we go. So I'll do the counting. You can make lovely grunting sounds if that feels good, to get some energy right from inside your guts, especially if there's some anger you're coping with. Here we go. We go around a couple of times. Breathing in, keeping calm, keeping your solidness. Remember your stance. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Jump. 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 Ha, 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 ha. Jump. Ha, 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 ha. Jump. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Brilliant. Now we're going to pop into a little bit more punching, but this is boxing the ears. This is from Shibashi set 2. Standing posture, hands back into that position, finding that waistline. By doing that, you're opening up the elbows, opening up the armpits, and opening and broadening your chest. Also shifting the scapulars on the back, which is fantastic for your movement. We take a step 45 degrees forward, and we're interested in that direction. The weight goes on that leg, bent knee, leaning forward, both fists come, and they punch using them like barrels, as if you're going around your opponent's ears. Coming back, standing posture. Off we go, 45 degrees to the other side. Leaning forward, you can feel the extension on the back of the leg. Allowing the weight to travel from one leg to the other. Really look your opponent in the eye. Punching, this is boxing your opponents. It's like you're fighting 2 people at once. One side, big swing out, almost pausing. Lean, a moment of pausing, taking the energy forward. Remember that gaze. Striking the opponent's ears. A couple more of these, leaning forward, making contact, coming back, and one more. Brilliant. Releasing these hands, punching hands. We're going to get slightly more, less punchy, more useful around the farmyard. We're going to deal with the cows. So continuing that theme of the sinews and ligaments and the movement and the stretching and a real sort of strength within your body. We're going to do pulling 9 cows' tails. So for this, we're going to have to take a big step forward. So I hope you've got enough room. Obviously, you just have to do a small one if you haven't got much room. Standing posture. One leg forward, big step. Same arm, leaning forward. The other arm tucks behind the back to start creating a twist on the body. With the front hand, you are leaning forward. You are grasping 9 tails of a cow. From here, you're going to pull it across the body, changing the bend on the knees, and you're going to pull it, hopefully, so you can look completely behind you, turning the body. Come back. We do this a couple of times on each side. So we are leaning forward, grasping 9 tails of cows. It's like you're pulling them through the mud. Exchange the bended knee. Back knees bending to cope with you. Twisting, twisting, twisting. Can you look behind you? Let's try this one more time. We are leaning forward. Really bent leg, holding those tails. Changing weight of the legs, turning, twisting the body. Brilliant. Coming to the front, we're going to change legs, popping yourself back. Next leg, really big step. It's like you're stepping over a ginormous puddle of mud. Hand goes forward to grasp the tails. The other hand pops right behind the back if you can. Leaning forward and grasping. Pulling across the chest. Exchanging the weight to the knees and looking behind you, creating a ginormous twist of the body. Go forward again, grasping. They're heavy, these cows. Pulling them, it's hard work on the farm. Turning and twisting. Last one, I'm going to get the last lot of cows out of the field, out of the mud. Pulling them, turning, twisting. Looking behind. Beautiful. Coming, popping yourself back into standing posture if you can. Brilliant. Bit of a breathe, calming. For all that excitement, there's a lot of cows in the room. Leave them to disperse somewhere. And we're just going to become a solitary tree for a moment. So, standing posture. Really check out your feet are parallel. And if you don't know what that means, pop them into very splayed and then put them back and you can sort of see the difference. Soft knees, tailbone down. Breathing in. And these arms are gathering some energy. And we're just going to embrace tree. So you can hold tree, low down by the dantian. Or if you're feeling like you've got some energy, just try letting them float up. They're coming up to chest area. Holding a beautiful tree. Classic tree pose. It's brilliant if you'd like a little bit of meditation. If you're using it for a long meditation, your arms get heavy, just don't worry, you just let them sink down. Rest them on your thighs if you want to, and then let them rise. You're feeling ready. You feel very heavy, relaxing the shoulders. You want them to feel as if they're just floating. Bring your awareness to your feet, your knee joints, and your hips. Through the head, connecting up to the heavens through crown gate, energy area on the head. From here, we're just going to do some pirouettes. So lowering the arms to that lower stance, nearer the lower dantian, lower the belly. We're going to turn at that waist again, but keep holding your tree. You're turning from one side to the other. Take your neck with your body. Check out your room from side to side. From now on, every time you go from one side to the other, you're lifting your arms slightly higher. Twisting and turning. Rising. Your arms are staying the same shape, but they're going to become above your head to the point that you are pirouetting on the spot, like an ice skater swirling around on the ice. And when you're ready, you come down from side to side, holding your tree, feeling the power of your youthful twistiness. You come down to normal standing posture. We just do this one more time. Side to side movements, bringing that energy up, turning and twisting, extending the arms higher, less movement with your arms above you. You're on a pirouette, perfect skater on the ice, still turning from side to side if you can. And then we're starting to bring them down again. Holding the tree, embracing the tree, but also you are the tree. Very twisty tree in the wind. Brilliant. Feel you're sort of feeling comfortable, and then just hold that tree just for a little bit longer. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring those hands down. One of the animals that relate to the wood energy is the deer. So we're going to give the two deers a go today. We've got female and male. So we're going to start with the male. So visualize quite a big deer with great big antlers. That's you at this moment. Standing posture. Feet turn to hooves, and that's just a thumb tucked behind the hand. They form more solid shape. For antlers later, the thumb holds down the third and fourth finger, so you've got little fingers and first fingers up. Those are your antlers later. Here we go. Let's see if I can take us through this in one piece. Standing posture. Find your hooves, they're in front of you. You're taking them up to the sides if you're drawing that shape in the side again, big circle. It's coming out, you're trying to stay facing forward yourself. As you get to your shoulder height, let's take a step back so you can see me more. You're then going to turn them into the antlers, and they start traveling round, still going on that circle. They come round to almost to a circle. You're going to form cactus arms, so you've created your big antler person. With the opposite foot that you've been traveling around with, so you started that side, you're sticking that out with the heel downwards. And as we keep turning, the weight goes on that front leg and you're bending it. And I'm still moving my lovely antlers, my cactus shape, but I want to have a look at my back heel. Twisting, twisting, twisting. Once I've twisted as far as I can and I can see my back heel, I'm coming all the way back to the front. Keep your antlers big and high, popping yourself back into standing. It then goes back to where it was. Finds those hooves again at shoulder height, and you're back down to your standing deer. And then we can go the other way. Hooves traveling on the round, finding their antler shape, shoulder height, and they keep going round. Brilliant. The opposite leg's going to come out this time. I'm on my heel. So it's the leg where all the action is now, because I'm leaning forward on it and I'm twisting round and I'm looking at that back heel again. Creating an amazing twist in the body. Keep those antlers high, they're very big and quite heavy. Bringing it back round, finding your hooves. Popping yourself back. We'll do both sides one more time. Here we go. Hooves are travelling up and around. They form into antlers. They're carrying on round. The foot comes out on the heel, taking the weight by bending that front knee, and I'm still twisting my great big antlers. I'm trying to keep my foot at the back completely flat, opening up the Achilles tendon. I'm looking at my ankle and coming all the way back. Popping yourself back into standing as you find your hooves again. Standing big. Remember, nice big chest. We've got lovely big white piece of soft fur there. Let's go up the other side. Last time. Travelling round, finding the antlers. Coming round, and the other leg comes out. Big heel. And travelling calmly and smoothly, and you are twisting. Both feet absolutely flat on the floor, if you can. Can you see your heel? Yes, you can. And this is your deer, your fun spiritual energy running through the forest. The ability to imagine and dream. Literally dream. Beautiful. Let's shimmer and shake that deer, that stag deer out, and we'll find the female deer. She's got slightly different shape antlers. These are little baubles this time. She doesn't always have big antlers, but she still has the same hooves. So here we go. Female deer. Arms lined up with your legs, they're in hooves. And in standing posture, soft knees. Bring your hooves up the front this time. Elbows are out, very calm. Get to about chest height and form some little bud antlers, so it's little round hands. And bring them up where you'd like your antlers, a bit like Mickey Mouse ears, just to the side and above your head. She then puts out a whole foot, but this time she uses her toe. So you're going to have to bend the back knee quite a lot. So I'm balanced on toes and the back foot with the knee bend. She pauses. She's looking around the forest. Is she alone? Which spirits are in the forest today? She got any friends? And when we're ready, we then take the weight on that front leg, flat foot, and I'm turning where I'm open, and then our weight goes on the back leg by bending the knee, and I'm going to bow to you. So I'm coming down. One antler will come to the hip, the other to the ankle, and I'm completely bowing in honour of you, as I've seen you in the forest. I'm then going to come back up, find my little buds again, and pop my feet back, bring that energy round, finding the hooves, beautiful circle to each side, and we're ready to start again. We've got time for one more. Here we go. We'll use the other leg this time. Little hooves rising into little buds. Buds find themselves above the head. The opposite foot comes out onto the toes, balls of the foot and the toes. I'm looking around, looking through the trees, looking for the spirits of the forest. The ethereal energy running free. The weight goes on that front leg, big bent knee, turning the body to the opening, and bringing the energy back and the weight onto the back leg by bending the knee. Hand goes to hip, and I'm bowing as low as I can to my ankle. I've seen you, my friend, in the forest. Coming back up, little antlers in place, standing posture, opening into a beautiful circle of life. Down we go. Finishing with our hooves. Beautiful. Coming to the end. So we're going to just finish with the wood mudra. So we're going to find our midline. One palm up as if in half prayer position, and the other pointing down. Elbows out. We're on the midline, soften those knees. That double direction. When you're ready, you're going to interchange them, creating parallel lines, opening the elbows to this room, realigning the hands, finding that wood mudra, pausing and breathing. Swap hands again, parallel lines, elbows out, direction upwards and downwards. Last time, equaling up our movements to wood mudra. Generosity and kindness. Beautiful. Softening down. Shimmer and shake. We'll finish with 3 claps as we come to the end of our session. When you're ready. 1, 2, 3. Smooth down your chi. Thank you very much.